so just want to make sure.
Or is it a cloud or the computer?
Recording in progress.
And we'll just type it somewhere. We always just want to make sure that shows us recording.
Okay.
And then she have a roll call. Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. We'll start the Protection and Policy Committee for Monday, January 24th. It is now 4:01 PM. Roll call, let the record reflect all are present. On to approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Approval of the minutes for January 13th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. All right, before we start regular business, there's nobody here. We'll just go through it. I need to inform you that items we discuss at this meeting and vote on will be a recommendation to the Common Council for final approval. The next Common Council meeting will be February 4th at 6 p.m. A question that we normally receive, do people need to attend a Common Council meeting after we have voted on your agenda item? This committee would recommend to the Common Council that items before us may or may not be pulled for further discussion at the Common Council meeting. Your attendance at the Common Council meeting is your sole discretion. All right, on to regular business. Number 1, consideration of possible action on the request by Bay Family Restaurant at 1301 South Military Avenue to temporarily extend their licensed premise to the parking lot for April 21st to 24th, 2025. Deputy Clerk, you have...
Yes, so we would recommend that we would receive and place this on file. They decided they were no longer wanting this request.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. On to number 2, consideration of possible action on a request by Merle Alexander regarding denial of her operator license previously held at the October 21st, 2024 Protection and Policy Committee meeting. Any update?
So the applicant was emailed on the last protection and policy meeting on January 13th. We also did call them last week, and it went to voicemail, and the voicemail box was full, so I was unable to speak to the applicant.
What would you like to do? Motion to deny?
I'd make a motion to deny. Could we put in there that, can we notify the applicant that it'll be going to council as a denial
Sure.
before? Okay. Make a motion to deny.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. On to number 3, consideration of possible action on the approval of Sabrina regarding the denial of her operator's license that was previously held at December 9th meeting.
Okay, so the applicant was emailed on January 13th to attend, did not respond back. I did speak with the owner of the establishment, and he said that she has quit the gas station and no longer works there.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to deny.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. On to number 4, consideration with possible action on the original application for a Class B beer and Class C wine license for La Chata LLC at 800 Cedar Street with a license premise description as office and dining room dessert area. Attorney?
We have no objections.
Okay, police?
Please concur.
All right, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Okay. Under number 5, for consideration of possible action on a revision of the city's process with handling sign permits to allow for one applicant and one point of contact to facilitate the approval of sign installations. Who would like to take this?
I can just start. This is a communication that was submitted and referred to staff. It was Alder Johnson's communication, and the staff director, Veneer Wig, had responded, worked with him on that, and there's a memo in the file about that if you have any questions where she's present. And Alder Johnson noted for us that he wasn't going to attend, that he would review it and let know if he provided any questions to be asked.
Okay. Director, any comments?
Yep, I would just say too that we've made some changes. I think that is helping to streamline that process with one point of contact in our department, because they all start in our department, the sign permits. Some of the issue is that it might go to a different department depending on what's needed. So I think there are further changes that we can make if we look at, and I spoke with Assistant Director Burnett on this in Public Works. What they do is paperwork on the third floor. They don't really need an engineer to do that paperwork. So I think there's some ways that we could possibly combine some of the stuff that might have been assigned to the right-of-way agent that they don't have any longer, you know, to someone else to do, to help streamline that process even more. But I think right now we're in a good spot, at least in our department.
If I read the memo correctly, the right-of-way that has to go through Department of Works also needs to go to INS. Is that
Well,
correct?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And it's really anything that's going to hang over the right-of-way or next to facing something right over the sidewalk.
Okay.
So when you do that, you need to have a hold harmless agreement drafted with the city. You also need this revocable occupancy permit. They've been, I think for a while they haven't gone to council, but now they are going to council, but I don't know if council needs to see that. It's kind of a simple process, like you could assign that to a staff person to be able to execute both of those things. And that would save time to have to wait for council meetings, I guess.
How many of these applications do you think you're seeing a year that require them to go to INS? Because it does seem like that's the holdup, it seems like, in the process right now, is having to wait for the council schedule.
Kind of that, yeah, that and that process. When Public Works gets it, it's like they have to provide certificates of insurance, and then they ship those to have Nate look at them and risk management, right? That takes time. There are some processes within the third floor, I think, that could be tightened up that they agree with. But one of them is certainly having to wait for council meetings, and depending if you don't have one that month or just one that month, that could tie that up
Right.
longer. It's just, I guess, one part of that process that would be helpful if staff could just issue those.
So-
I don't know the number on how many of those are through
Okay.
Public Works. I asked Deputy Director. I don't think there's a whole lot of them that are over the right-of-way, but
Do we need improvement of services approval to streamline this a little more?
I would tell you, in my opinion, I don't think you do. I don't know if there's a reason, and I have to talk with law, if it's because the mayor signs that along with the clerk, if that means it has to go to city council for approval. But, you know, I would say if you don't need to do that, that certainly would shave some time off the process.
Yeah, we can follow up on that, but with anything, even if it's a usual process that goes, we can adopt a policy that they could be handled in this new way. Council could do that.
Council could assign it maybe to a staff person to handle it. Kind of like you do for our block, well, I think of like our block grant funding.
Yeah.
City council approves that plan, and then you say RDA, do this, or, you know, staff execute that plan. So,
I think we're mainly talking about small business owners,
right,
you know.
Yep.
When they decide they're gonna open, they're gonna sign a lease, and then they wanna sign up right away.
they do, yes.
So any way possible to streamline this even more,
I agree.
I think will be beneficial all the way
Yep.
around. And if someone knows it's in the right of way, just say, okay, well, we need you to sign this additional form.
Right, or, you know, we could redraft the application to include all of that in it. So
Yeah.
there could be a checklist per se. Is this over the right of way?
And
And
you have
you're
the
gonna need
insurance.
these things, start, you know, working on those right away. Oftentimes, admittedly too, is we get applications that aren't fully complete. So we get the application in, they think that's the date I turn it in, but it wasn't complete. So we're emailing back and forth. Could be for weeks to get that information back before the process even begins to go. But in their minds, right,
Yeah.
try this in 3 weeks ago. Not really, because we're still missing this document,
Yeah.
so.
Complete applications are a must.
Say that again.
Yes.
Well, so you feel we could streamline this even more than what we see currently today?
I do believe that's true. So maybe recommendation would be to refer it back to staff so we can work with the law department to figure out if we're going to ask you, to approve staff to do those internal permits, and if we can combine some of these things together.
Yeah.
What position did you say is no longer in DPW that was handling this?
Tom Geezy, who was the right-of-way
The
agent,
right-of-way agent? Okay.
I think he did all of those, that work down there, and of course, he'd been here forever, so he knew a lot of stuff. But I don't think they filled that position, so I actually think Jim Burnett doesn't.
Okay.
Can we also streamline this even more? I see the historical district and landmarks.
Yep.
If we get a person that's knowledgeable in this position, can we streamline that commission out of it too?
Well, if it has to go, I think the time with that is if it has to go to landmarks.
Okay.
If it's in a historic district and landmarks has to approve it, then it depends when that meeting falls. So that might delay it. Usually we don't have a whole lot of those
Okay.
that are actually in the district that need approval, like Broadway, these scenarios.
I think we should refer.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to refer it back to staff.
Any other questions or
I think that's
comments?
fine. Technically, I intended to put this on as an update, but I see that portion of the item is missing, but if you want to just refer it back again, it's fine. This was really just an update. It's okay.
Yeah. Sounds like staff is looking at it, working on it, has better, more things to edit. So yeah, I think it makes sense to refer it to staff.
Give us a little more time. though.
Yeah.
But I understand Brian Johnson did this a year ago, 2 years ago? When you first did this one? The initial? So I think we do need to put a timeline on this one. Do you think 30 days, 45 days?
I think that should be enough.
Okay.
I mean, when this came in, we actually have a new position that was created, compliance inspector, that does short-term rentals and sign permits.
Okay.
So now he's up to speed, so now he's actually our point of contact in our department for sign permits. So we have done some stuff.
So you could pick either, if you want to refer back with an update on the February 24th, or the meeting after that is March, one second. Do you know, Jamie?
I do not.
She doesn't care anymore.
Isn't that the case?
Probably March
March
10th.
10th? Or, so either February 24th or March 10th? Or the
Same,
subsequent update?
February 24th.
Yeah. I would give them a little more time.
That's up to you guys.
Well,
I
might be safe.
I would prefer March 10th only because I have to coordinate with law and public works.
Right.
March
That's
10th.
why I
March
said,
10th. Is that okay?
that's what I said, I think, give them
Yeah.
the necessary time.
So the motion on the table is?
To refer to staff to come back with an update on March 10th
Okay.
regarding
Or
possibility
recommendations,
of-
yep.
Yeah, for recommendations to streamline further.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Informational. Green Bay Police Department violation report for liquor and massage establishments.
We have no liquor violations. On December 26th, we responded to an address at 1315 West Mason, did a property referral on a massage establishment. And then on January 16th of this year, at 989 West Mason, the Tulip Spa, we cited them for being open past the regulation hours. That's all.
Just number 2, your final, any questions?
I was just gonna say, Lieutenant, I see on your liquor one, we got the getaway bar a bunch of times again, and they had court dates just 3 weeks ago or so. Has the new owner ever taken over yet, or?
Yeah, the new owner has taken over. Those were citations all issued pretty much right when the old owner was giving up his bar to the new owner. So the new owner's been running it. He has not been cited. Those are all citations given to the old owner right before he surrendered his liquor license.
Do you have any clue what kind of, was he fined on any of them, or you wouldn't know that information?
That I don't know the outcome of his citations.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, liquor licensing report, please.
All right, right, thank you. So we currently have one outstanding liquor license for Green Bay Koi that has an extension until the end of February. And at this time, we have no available liquor licenses.
Before adjournment, I would like to say thank you to Jamie for your 8 years of service to the city.
Thank you, yes.
Enjoy your new position.
Thank you. Sorry to bring it back to work, but could we have someone making a second and stuff on the informational?
Receive and place in file.
Place a file.
Second.
Yeah, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you.
There, that's your final thing to do. No, not yet. But I want to say thank you for the 8 years.
Thank you for being such a great counsel, so.
And I understand Stacy will be in your footprints next. so.
Yes.
All right, well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right, on to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay, ayes have it. We're now adjourned.
Thank you.
And there's food.
Yes.